Yeah, I mean, you're still obviously your players are going to try hard, but is that thing in the back of their head where it's like, even if I pull a great comeback for a team and win this match, bringing us to 1-2, what are the odds we're actually going to win? And that thought can kind of sink into your head, and it negatively affect your mindset. So it's really important to not be down 0-2. Even more than just the numbers would say, there's a psychological toll of kind of. It's almost more than if you're in a 1v1, you're down 0-2. Or like, well, I just need to play really, really good, and I can win 3 in a row. If you're in a team match and you're down 0-2, it's like, I need to play really good. And my next team needs to play really good. And my next team needs to be really good. And it's like trying to get 3 people to be on their A game at the same time is a little bit more difficult than having it just for the one person. So it can kind of get in your head. But anyways, here we are. Game number 1 between Minato and Nightend. In the bottom right-hand location, representing Na'Vi, we have the yellow Zerg, Minato. Of course, from the Ukraine, I believe. And we have the blue Protoss representing Fnatic. The top left-hand location, Nightend. So, we do see another gateway expansion from Nightend. And drones coming out from Minato. Oh, here we go. The game sound's kicking in now. I love that game music. I don't know. For some reason, the StarCraft music fits so well with StarCraft. One thing we did see Minato do is, it looked for a second. He went up to like 240 minerals. It looked for a second. He was thinking about going hatchery first. They decided not to, which is smart. If there's a probe around, trying to get a hatchery first off is pretty rare. Nightend did scout after gateway. So a fairly, reasonably early scout there, at least considering, well, it's like I said before in Hearthstone games, it's really 3 ways to scout with your gateway expansion. You either scout the gateway, you scout after the Nexus / pylon you build right after the Nexus, or you just don't scout with a probe and you wait till you have a combat unit out to scout. So Nightend going for the slightly earlier scout this game. Meanwhile, there goes the Zealot. There goes the Chrono Boosted probe, and the Zealot typically is canceled if there's no need to let it complete. We're going to see most likely this next probe be rallied out. Actually, he's not rallying the probe out to his natural, so that means he's probably not going to. Yeah, he's probably not going to cancel his Zealot. So he's actually delaying his expansion a bit. Is he going to continue to get another gateway unit? That's what I want to see. Okay, no, just the 1 Zealot. Okay. Most Protoss players like to get the Nexus a little faster. But getting the Zealot out is nice. Just sometimes if you get the Nexus first, and then like the Zerg happen to build six Zerglings, I mean, ideally the probe would see that, and then you would, you get the Zealot. But if you somehow miss it with the probe and the 6 Zerglings pop up, and what they do is they keep trying to cancel this pylon over and over again, that can be kind of annoying. So, getting the Zealot is never a terrible idea, just to be extra safe. We do see Chrono Boost on the Mothership Core. Meanwhile, this probe is still lurking around, trying to spot the 3rd base. Zerglings are trying to find it. It's a game of hide and seek. And look at that. The probe jukes the Zergling in. The odds of the Zerg player coming back here and scouting it again are pretty low. So this is actually a really good probe right here, because it's very low. I mean, some Zerg players will re-scout this area, but sneaking in right behind the Zergling is a great move. Because the Zerg's like, I already look back there. There's no probe. But probes can move, man. They're tricky. And look at this, adding 3 more gateways. This is a little bit more committed than we see. Sometimes you see adding 2 more gateways, total of 3 gates. And in that case, your goal is to deny the 3rd base. With 4 gateways, I think even if there's no 3rd base, he's going to probably keep going. And, at least force a spine or 2, force a lot of extra Zerglings, and try to get some damage done to the natural or the economy of Minato, at least interfere with his progression of the tech tree. But, oh, he is going to rescout this area. Oh, no, this could be huge for him. He sees the probe. He runs right by it. The pylon is still not spotted yet, though. In fact, he sees the probe twice. Now he sees... Okay, now he goes back and gets it, but he's not going to find the he's not going to find this pylon. He's going to cancel both of these, which is nice, but he's not going to be doing too much more than that. Actually, almost like the see these zealots being hidden. So he warp another 4, but this can work actually. There's a lot of speedlings. Remember, the zealots do not have +1 weapons, so they can be taken out fairly quickly by good speeding surround. He's going for it. The banelings are coming in. Can they get the money? Oh, the money baneling shots. All the zealots get taken out, and Nightend's rush is just dismantled. I mean, he can still warp in a few more zealots, but after that horrible exchange, you can see units lost. Protoss almost twice as much as Zerg there. Very, very, very bad for Protoss. A few more banelings, and Nightend has to come up with a backup plan. But I mean, he was cutting a lot of probes to make this happen. He's got, I mean, he has no gas, no tech. It's gonna be a very difficult backup plan. He's getting now another simulator. He's warped in some sentries to help defend. Of course, that was a necessity. But this is a very rough spot. Now, behind us, Minato could double expand with ease. More zealots getting clobbered. Banelings need to get away from that militia corps. And Nightend's in a tough spot because if you think about what a Protoss wants to do against Zerg, right? You either want to like work your way up to a very strong composition of units, or you want to hit a timing. It's too late to need pure gateway timing. I mean, he already did a gateway timing and it failed, right? If he tries to go for a blink or a mortal timing, it's going to be several minutes before he can even get that off the ground. And in those several minutes, Minato can be super greedy and just get too out of control and then overwhelm it. But if he wants to get to that late game composition, he needs a third base. And with this many speedings on the map, how's he going to get that third base? Meanwhile, look at the drones are going to start skyrocketing. I mean, he cut a lot early to deal with that, but he's now up by 10, and it's going to be nothing for the next 60 seconds. I doubt we're going to see any combat units from Minato. Unless he, yeah, I don't see anything. Next 60 seconds, so like 10:30 or so. I don't think we're going to see anything but drones. I mean, of course, maybe additional queen, of course, production facilities, tech buildings, but as far as combat units, I don't think we're going to see too much out of them. 5 more overlords on the way. And the layer is finishing, so is he going to go straight for Spire? Against a 2-base Protoss, that's kind of risky. He's actually getting Hydra and range attack. Okay. So maybe he's kind of figuring his opponent won't be going for Colossi with the amount of sentries being warped in, the late 3rd and 4th gas. Could be one of those type of things. By the way, Nightend is going to go for 2-base Immortal timing. You can see adding more and more gateways, no more probes in production. He's going to pretend to take a 3rd. He might kill the Overlord. He might even build a Nexus here. But we're definitely going to see him really focus on a 2-base attack. And I think Hydras are going to work out great against Immortal timing. With good force field micro, you can kind of always make a comeback almost. But if Minato, positions his units well, gets a good taunt. Huh. That was funny. I guess those banelings got tired of life. They're like, we're suicide bombers. We're not supposed to be around on the map this long. Just blew themselves up. We're sick of it. It's too much, guys. It's too much. Let's end it. Let's make it 3 more. It's kind of funny. But this is a cool combination because if you think about what are Hydras weak to? Well, if your opponent has a lot of zealots, they can chop you up pretty quickly, especially if you get trapped by force fields. So if you add a few banelings with the Hydras, if you can get a couple good connections, that can really soften those zealots up really quickly. And then, of course, as long as you know they're not going Colossi, they're going for a 2-base Immortal. It's good to have a few banelings. You don't want to get too many, because force fields, of course, can section them out. You used to have like 3 banelings. Does your opponent really want to dedicate like 3 force fields to totally trap those banelings out? Or, all it takes is 3 magic connections and their whole army goes away. But it's not a big commitment as well. Here come 2 banelings. Pretty good connections there. We're talking up a lot of those zealots. Pulling back the Hydras so the other Hydras can get into action here. Overall, some very strong control by Nightend, I think. We're actually very strong control from both players, but oh, here come the banelings. Only one gets a connection, but it's enough. I mean, it was a really, really great defense, a great concave. Nightend was stuck trying to attack in a bad position. He tried to make the most of it, but Minato, his positioning and his knowledge of how to defend that were just too far above there. And Nightend's stuck on a retreat now. He knows, okay, I have to go for Colossi now, but can't even get back home. Here we come in. Hydra's coming in here. Banelings in the picture as well. Speeding's going to trap those zealots. And the Banelings get the connections on the zealots. Oh, good force fields there, actually. Really nice force fields. Those speedings will be cut off. You know, Nightend really was able to get his way back home. And now if he can find a way to stabilize, get a Colossus or two out, or a couple Colossi, he'll be very happy. And Minato has to be thinking, you know what? I defended, but now what? Can I actually kill him? I don't know, man. Force fields and zealots are so powerful against Hydra-based compositions. Minato may be thinking it's time to take a fourth and drone up. Because I can assure you Nightend is probably thinking about taking a third right now. He may try to do one more attack, maybe with 2 Colossi, but I think he's right to take a third. Oh, the Immortal gets stuck on the wrong side. If he had a few more force fields, he could have trapped a lot of speedings. That would have been pretty awesome. As is, though, the Immortal goes down. Minato backs away, and now he's building a Spire. So you could easily see a muted transition. It could also just be, if it's a 2-base timing from Nightend, we'll probably just see him make, you know, 5, 6 Corruptors if he can get them out in time, just to deal with the Colossi. And then if the Colossi are dealt with, you know, the Hydra Baning Speeding Force is going to be great against the, basically it's a Zealot-based composition at this point, Sentry Zealot. 15 more drones in production as well. So that way if Nightend doesn't go for time, and if he just moves out, plays defensively, protects his Ram Soul, takes a third, with 15 extra drones and the Spire coming up, with the late of a third that Nightend would have, no Stargates up, no Twilight Council up, so very far from either Blink or Phoenix. It's going to be insanely difficult to ever stop a muted switch. And look at all the gas that's saved from Minato. He could get so many mutalists. I actually think we're going to see maybe the start of a Na'Vi comeback. Remember, we just saw Hearthstone win 2-0 over Lowly. Of course, that put Fnatic up 1-0 in that series score. But Na'Vi on the back of Minato are starting to make a comeback here. If Minato wins this one and the next one, he could tie up the score. Of course, this is the first game of the best-of-3 between Minato and Nightend. Speedings are circling around here. Hydras are coming back. We do have... he's going for this... Oh, this is so sad for Nightend in a way. He's going for this Colossi timing. He has enough Stalkers in here with with Guardian Shields. He may be able to beat the army straight up, but the Mute is... not only going to catch this Warp Prism, but then they're going to come around across the top here and do some terrible damage. There was a nice snipe. Sorry, guys, I missed this. He did snipe this hatchery, which is a pretty cool move with the Warp Prism and Zealot. So, nice move there from Nightend, but is it enough? Minato up by 55 supply here. I love the decision to counterattack. If he gets stuck in the fight, there's not enough mutas to overwhelm the Stalker Guardian Shield force. And with good force fields, his ground army could be mitigated, but there are enough mutas to supplement the speedlings and breaking a hole and then just dominating a base trade here. Can go straight for the probes, maybe get the Nexus. And we do see sentries coming up. A great force field there. Can he focus on the sentries and then back away with the mutas? Or actually, he might just kill he might just kill the Stalkers as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, the 4th base did go down from Minato. Nightend is continuing to push in here. But as more and more mutas are produced, here he has to win. Where's a drone excursion? Take a hatchery here, take a hatchery here. And there's no way Nightend can really win the base race. But why not try? Nightend, if he could, I mean, there's no way he can recall back in time. He doesn't even have a mothership core, does he? No, he doesn't. Oh yeah, it was back for defense with the photon overcharge. He goes straight for the main and then take the main of the Zerg out. Oh, if you can catch a few mutas here, that can help a lot. Able to get 1 kill on the mutas. 2 spines won't do too much for defense. But we should see those hatcheries being built on another side of the map. There goes one. Nightend is revealed. Where's Nightend's last building? There's a... Oh, you know what? He has no probes in his army, does he? He has no probes in his army. He can't build buildings here. I mean, even if he could, he'd be stuck camping him and Zerg would just mine from other bases, but... Wow. Wow, and this pylon could be the end for Nightend. Here you have Empire Zerg. Seeing the Nightend might fall is so excited he pulled the plug in his internet, but no. Pylon is going to fall down. Another one gets started. Oh, there we go. The last building was going to fall. And I mean, to make matters clear, even if he had a probe with his army, Let's say if the armies fought in the open, I think Zerg would have won if they had a good surround. But he could have easily defended a ramp and just camped on top of it. But it's not like they would have made him win. Even if you could have killed the Zerg third base and then camped the ramp, Minato was building a hatchery across the map. He could have evac'd a lot of drones. He could have just built a bunch of bases. And then he just mines and eventually builds up a huge army. And Nightend is sitting there camping one pylon that he can't ever leave, because if he leaves, Mutas will fly in and take it out. So Minato had that one. As soon as he was going Mutas and decided to base trade an opponent who didn't have any Phoenix or Blink Stalkers, there's no way you're going to win that base trade. But of course, Nightend was kind of stuck into it. It all came from the start. Minato has had that game from start to finish. Really great control over the map. But we're going to get into game 2 in just a few minutes after a quick break.